Okay, so this is the video tutorial for Excel Independent Project 2.4. All right, so here we go. I've got the document open already, so we've already completed step one. You can tell in here we have 3 worksheets within this one workbook. You should already be familiar with the geography of Excel a little bit and how worksheets and workbooks are organized. So we want to go to the tables worksheet, so we're going to do that right here. Click on that. And then we are going to select cells A1 to B6. So this is column A, column B, and all the way down through row 6. Okay, and we're going to create range names using the Create from Selection button, which is located on the Formulas tab, and then in the Create from Selection. So we make sure we've got these selected. Create from Selection, we're going to go ahead and create the names from values in the top row and just click OK. Okay, and that's all we have to do for that. Now we're going to create an XLOOKUP function to display the bonus rate. Okay, there's lots of categories for functions up here, functions and formulas. So the easiest way really to find a function is to go insert function and then type in whatever it is you want, type a brief description. So we want XLOOKUP, and then hit enter, and it should find it for us. That way you don't have to worry about the different categories and where it is. You can go right to it. So we're going to say okay. Oops. Okay, so before we do that in 3A, I'm going to cancel this. I need to go to the commissions worksheet, which is right down here to the left, and click on cell F5. So column F, row 5 is right here. Now I want to do my function, the XLOOKUP. So we're going to do that again. And we're going to get there and say OK. And now we have the different values that we can put in, or these kind of configurations. There is an image here that tells you can type it in if you want, but that's not going to teach you very much. You need to learn where to go to get the information. So this first one says start a lookup function and use cell E5 as the lookup value. So that one we will just type in E5, or you could go over and click into it. That's fine. Then we're going to go to the lookup array, and it wants us to do the commission level range. So to do that, we're going to go to our tables tab, tables worksheet, and we're going to do commission level. We're going to select rows 2 through 6. And as you can see, it automatically puts commission level in for us. For the return array, we want bonus rate. So we're going to go back to our tables tab and highlight rows 2 through 6 for our bonus rate, and it's going to put that in. And then it just tells us to put in a match mode. So basically -1 is going to find the next smaller match. I don't exactly understand these, I'll be honest with you. Just do what the directions say, and then you should be good to go. Once you get all those in and you can see if it matches the figure that's in your directions, just click OK. And then you can see we have a 0.025. We've got a couple other things we need to do here. In step 4, we're supposed to format the result as a percent style. So I'm going to show you the long way around to do that, and then we'll go back. I'll show you some shortcuts later on in the exercise. So right now we're going to highlight F5, and I'm going to go over here to my cells group on the Home tab and do Format, and then all the way to the bottom to do Format Cells. And it says to format as a percentage, so I'm going to click on percentage here, and my decimal places should be 2. So I'm going to do that. It gives me a sample of what it will look like, and that does match what I see for that value in the solution document. You want to be comparing this to the solution document the whole way through, so you make sure your values are correct and you've done everything right. So then you're going to go down and click OK. And you can see that changes to 2.50%. And that matches our solution document. Now we want to copy the formula. This is step 5 in cell 5 all the way down to cell 6 through 14. So we're just going to get this black cross here, and then we're going to go all the way down. And again, you want to compare these values to your solution document to make sure that you're correct. Usually after I'm done with something like that, I just make a habit of like what I call clicking off. I just click outside into the worksheet somewhere. So I make sure I don't type over anything or do anything. Okay, so now we're on step 6, rolling right along, and it says set order of operations to calculate the commission and bonus totals. So the first thing we want to do is select cell G5, which is right here, the commission with bonus. So we're going to select that. That's where our formula is going to go. The total paid is the dollar amount of the commissions plus the commissions times the bonus rate. So we're going to start a formula and then select cell E5. So we're going to press our equal sign. We'll start a formula. And then we're going to press into cell E5. And you can see both in our cell and up here in our formula bar, we have equals E5. Okay, then we're going to add. So we're going to put in our plus sign. And then for operations, we're going to do a product. It says add cell E5 to the product of commissions. Product means multiply. So we're going to put in some parentheses here so we make sure we add to the full, to both factors that we're going to multiply. And so this is going to be, again, E5 times, we're going to go here and put in our asterisk, which is the symbol for multiply. And then we're going to do E5 right there, and then end with a parenthesis, and then that should do it. And you can see the formula in the figure again that's in your directions. It has it there. E5 plus, and then in parentheses, E5 times F5. Either way, it doesn't matter what you're multiplying times what. It should work. So there you go. And again, you want to compare this to your solution document. But again, we do have, I think, a little bit more work to do here. Okay, it says format the result to show 0 decimal places. So we have this cell highlighted, and now there is a shortcut to reduce the decimal pages, and that's right up here in the number group. So if we go here, we can see decrease decimal or increase decimal. And we want to decrease it to where there is no decimal. So we're going to press that twice and get 15,375. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do. And now we're going to copy the formula again all the way down. So we're going to go there all the way down. You want to compare these values to your solution document. I can't emphasize that enough. Okay, and then I'm going to click away, or click off. So now we're on step 7, and now we're going to create and copy a SUMIF function to calculate total earnings by branch office. So again, we're going to go to our formula tab, and we're going to do insert function, and we're going to do SUMIF. And that should take us right to it. So make sure you do SUMIF and not SUMIFS. SUMIF, and click OK. Okay, so we're going to start that function with cells D5 through D14 as a range argument, but you'll notice the dollar signs on your instructions in 7B. That means it's an absolute reference. Okay, so we're going to select our range, which is going to be D5 through D14, right here, D5 through D14, but it needs to be an absolute reference. And I thought there would be some way here to do that, but I'm really not finding it. So I just go back and manually type in the dollar signs to make sure that it's correct. I don't know, I'll have to do a little bit more research to find out for sure, but this is just the easiest and quickest way for me to show you. Okay, then in the criteria, we want a relative reference, so that's fine. All we have to do is select C18, which is Cameron Park right here. Am I right? Okay, select cell E18, C18. So that's going to be right here where it says Cameron Park is C18. And then we're going to go into the sum range argument. And the reference has to be absolute. So this is going to be the commission with bonus because we want the total earnings by branch office. So we're going to select this range right here, G5 through 14. but it has to be absolute. So we're going to go back and put those dollar signs in again and make sure that those are right. I would really have to find a way. I know that there's a way to make that absolute without typing in the dollar signs, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so we're going to say okay. Okay. Oh, and see what I did. So I wasn't in the right cell, so I wanted to be in cell E18. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to copy this, and then I'm going to paste it in the right. Oh, shoot. So my ranges is probably not correct. C18. Okay, I'm going to go up here and copy. Then go down here, and then go up here and copy. It should, nope, that's not going to work. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now I got it. Okay, so 40, make sure in Excel your cursor is in the right cell. Make absolutely certain you do that. So, very important. So I missed that on step 7A. So now we're all the way down to 7E. So now I'm going to copy this formula that's in 18 down to 19 and 20. So we're going to go here to 20, right there. And now we have to do a little bit of formatting. It wants us to, and do it without formatting. So we have to click on this little icon that shows up here, this little mini menu, and we're going to say fill without formatting. Okay, right there. Okay, but now we need to format these cells, and it wants us to format them with 0 as currency with 0 decimal points. You can see right now we just have numbers. So again, I can go to my home tab is a quick and easy way. I can click in the number group up here and choose currency, and then delete my decimal places again, because it just wants these. Again, compare these values with your solution document and make sure that that is correct. Okay, now we're going to total the earnings in cell E21. This is just a regular sum, so we can go back to our formulas tab and then just do an auto sum, and then hit enter. And again, make sure you compare this, but you should be good to go. Okay, now we're going to, in 7.9, calculate the average, mode, and median values in cell E22, 23, and 24 for the commission and bonus totals in column G. So average, again, we're just going to insert function. You can type it in so you don't have to know necessarily where to find it. There's average, say OK. And then we're going to do, that's not our range, we're going to do our range right here. These right here. Okay, you don't have to put a second number in, so we're just going to click OK. All right, and there it is. You want to double check that value. And now we're going to do mode. So we're going to do insert function and do mode. And there it is, and say OK. And then we're going to do this same range here and say OK. And now we're going to go to median and do the exact same thing. And say OK. And it's going to be the same range. And then say OK. Now you can see that 2 of these came out for some reason as currency. The middle one did not. So this says to correct the border and number format inconsistencies as needed. So we're going to go into mode, and we're going to go back to our home tab. Change this to currency with no decimal points again. Just leave it at that. I did not notice anything with the borders. I didn't make any changes to that, so we should be good. Now we're going on to step 11, where we want to create and copy an if function. So back to our formulas tab, and we're going to select the by policy sheet and click cell F7. So by policy is the middle worksheet. And we're going to select F7, which is right here under the column personal line question mark. Now we're going to do insert function, and we're going to just type the word if. And then we get that function and say okay. And now we get, there's a logical test, which means this sometimes is called an if-then. If a certain value is true, it's going to type in, it's going to automatically populate something in the cell. If it's false, it's going to populate something else. So our logical test is going to be if E7, which is right here, if that's a business policy. So you can see how some of these say business policy and some say something else. So our logical test is going to be E7 equals, and then you have to put it in quotes because you want it to be this exact term, business policy. And put the quotes in. If it's true that it is a business policy, we're going to say no. If it's false and it is not a business policy, it's going to say yes. And that's because the question is personal line, not business line. So it's going to say no or yes. Don't let that confuse you. And say okay. So you can see this is a personal automobile policy. It is not a business policy. So we're going to put that right there. And then we're going to copy this. Copy the formula to complete the column. That's step 11E. So again, we're going to take this and drag this all the way down to here. And then the next thing it wants us to do is to increase the indent 2 times for all of these cells. So there's an easy way to increase the indent. You're going to go back to the Home tab. And then these little arrows right here say decrease or increase. So we want to increase it 2 times. So we're going to click it once and twice. And it's just going to indent it for us. That's it. Now we're going to press Control Home. And it's going to take our cursor automatically back to cell A1. That's where home is. Okay, for step 12, we're going to go display names and locations using a concat function. So back to our Formula tab. Back to our insert function, and back to type in concat. And there it is. So now we're going to say okay. And now we're getting text fields. So we're going to populate, oops, we need to go back to the table sheet and go to D2. Oops, let's take this out. Okay. Okay, let's cancel this again. I'm sorry, I should have gone to my tables first. Tables, select your cell, D2, then go look for your formula, your function. Okay, now we're going to concat. Okay, now we've got our text. Now we can see it starting. So our text in the first one is going to be C5 on the commission sheet. So we're going to go to the commission sheet. And we're going to click in C5. Oops. C5. Why does it keep saying C4? Okay. C5 on the commission sheet. Okay, so we're just going to type it in, C5. And then we go to text 2. Okay, this is not correct. Okay, hang on, I got to cancel again. So we're going to click here, go to concat. And I'm going to have to go to text 1, commission sheet, and C5. There we go. Okay, that time it worked. I don't know why it didn't. Okay, what we're doing is we're populating a text field. So for text 2, the argument is just a space. So you're just going to hit your space bar. And nothing typed in except a space, so just leave it at that. Text 3 is B5 on the commission sheet. So we're going to go back to the commission sheet and do B5. Okay, and that worked out right. And now we want to do a comma and a space. So a comma and a space. And then in text 5 is D5 on the commission sheet. Back there and do D5, and that's going to be that. And then we're going to say OK. And then there it is. That's what it says. Now we're going to copy this just like we have the others. Copy it on down. And you can see it lists all of the agents and their location. And that's what we want. Make sure you compare it to the solution document. Okay, now again, it wants us to go to cell D13. So we're in D and we're going right down here to 13. And it says to paste the range names. And we do that by going to the, hang on, I have to, yes, to the formula tab again. And then we're going to do use in formula. Click on that little down arrow and it'll say paste names. And then you want both of these, so both of the range names, so we're going to paste list. Then those go in there, and that's exactly what you want. If you compare to the solution document, you'll see that that's what you want. Then it wants you to go Control Home. And now it wants you to group all the sheets together. When we do that, it means any print specifications that we make or any formatting is going to affect all of the worksheets within the workbook. And to do that, all you do is hold down the Control key and click on the names of the sheets until all three of them are highlighted as shown here. And now it wants us to center the pages horizontally, so we're going to go to the Page Layout tab, and then we're going to go to Page Setup, and then Margins, and we're going to say Center Horizontally. And now it also wants us to insert a footer, so we're going to go to the Header Footer tab within the Page Setup dialog box. We're going to do a Custom Footer, and we're going to click in the right section, and then click on the icon for the Insert File Name. You can see right there, my cursor's a little big, but it says Insert File Name, and then you get that, and click OK. I would just double check that you're still centered horizontally. You are, so then say OK. And then ungroup the sheets. To do that, all you do, you don't hold the Control key or anything. You can just click on a sheet and it will ungroup them. And now we're going to save our sheet, save our file. Okay, and now we're going to submit for grading. So hang on here 1 second. I'll get this up for you. Way up to the top, upload my file. I've done this several times, so I saved it to my desktop. Somewhere on here. There it is. Central Sierra, and hopefully I'll get 100%. We shall see. I'm a-praying. If not, you know you can always go back into your file and make any adjustments. But hopefully this is up, and I did. I got 100%. Make sure if you did not get 100% that you go through this report. It will tell you exactly what you need to do to fix any problems you have. You can just go into the same file you submitted on your desktop, and then, or in your downloads, wherever you have it, and make the corrections and resubmit. You can resubmit up to 5 times. Okay? All right. That should work this time. All right. Take care. Bye.